Picture an ordinary morning at a modern military base. Soldiers move through routine drills. Vehicles roll out for inspection. On the watchtowers, observers scan a quiet, empty horizon. Drones drift overhead. Nothing unusual, just another day of service. Then one surveillance operator notices something strange, far away. At first, it looks like dust, a trick of the heat. But the dust does not settle. It grows. It moves. Minutes later, the truth becomes clear. It is people. A vast mass of people, moving straight toward the base. The cameras zoom in. The details make no sense. These are not modern soldiers. No uniforms, no vehicles. They carry shields, axes, spears, and swords. Their armor, their banners, their formation, all from the distant past. And then the operator sees it isn't one army. On the eastern screen, a second dust cloud rises. To the south, a third. To the west, a fourth. From every direction, the horizon is filling with men. 5 separate armies, closing in on the base at once. Intelligence begins to count. The numbers are impossible. Hundreds of thousands in each column. Together, over 1 million. And every one of them belongs to a different age of war. This is not an invasion. This is history itself, marching. Inside the command center, officers stare at the screens in silence. The commander grabs the radio. His face is pale. "Confirm what I'm seeing," he says. Nobody answers. The northern feed sharpens. Round shields, braided beards, riveted helmets, fur and leather, axes raised high. Vikings, an ocean of Vikings, tens of thousands deep. The southern feed locks on perfect, rigid lines. Red tunics, rectangular shields, crested helmets, Roman legions. From the east, a low thunder no camera can yet show. Then the dust parts, horsemen, thousands upon thousands of riders. Mongols, fast and loose, fanning across the open steppe. The western feed reveals lacquered armor and horned helmets. Samurai, banners on their backs, advancing in silent order. And between them, a wall of steel that blinds the lens. Knights in full plate, lances lowered, crosses on white cloth. 5 empires of war from 5 centuries on one battlefield. The commander lowers the radio. "These are warriors," he says quietly. Then he gives the only order that matters. Battle stations, alarms scream across the base. Soldiers run to their positions. Machine guns are loaded. Armored vehicles roll to the walls. Drones climb high to map the full size of the threat. From above, the picture is almost beautiful and terrifying. 5 tides of men, tightening around a single point. The Vikings reach firing range first. They always would. Their front ranks lock shields into a solid wall. War cries rise. The whole northern line breaks into a run. The ground itself begins to tremble under their charge. From the command center comes one short word: fire. The towers open up. The silence is torn apart. Heavy rounds rip through the front ranks at full sprint. To the Vikings, it looks like a storm of invisible metal. No arrows, no spears, no enemy they can see. Men fall by the dozen, then by the 100. The shields that ruled 1,000 battles mean nothing now. But the Vikings do not stop. For them, retreat is shame. Behind every fallen warrior, 10 more keep running forward. To the south, the Romans watch the slaughter and learn. On command, their shields snap together over their heads. The testudo, a shell of overlapping steel and wood. They advance slowly, absorbing fire, refusing to break formation. Discipline, not fury, carries them closer to the walls. This is the enemy the defenders truly fear, an army that adapts. Then the eastern horizon explodes into motion. The Mongols do not charge the walls head on. They split, they circle, They ride to find the flanks. Horse archers loose arrows on the gallop, then wheel away. They feign retreat, baiting the defenders out of position. For the first time, the command center sees real danger. "They're trying to surround us," the commander snaps. Armored vehicles swing east to seal the open ground. Autocannons track the riders and cut the gallop short. Horses and men fall in long, scattered lines across the steppe. Speed met range. Range won. But the circle keeps reforming. Now the knights begin their charge from the open western field. A wall of plate steel and horseflesh, building into a thunder. Lances lowered, they aim straight for the armored vehicles. Medieval armor, the peak of its age, against modern armor. The two walls of steel close the distance fast. Then the tank guns fire. The charge simply disintegrates. Steel that stopped swords for centuries folds like paper. The samurai do not rush. They watch and they choose. In small, disciplined units, they slip between the chaos. Using smoke, dust, and bodies as cover, they move closer. Where the Vikings died in the open, the samurai use the ground. A handful reach the base of the wall, blades drawn. For one moment, the ancient world touches the modern one. And this is when the battle nearly turns. From 5 directions at once, the assault peaks together. Vikings at the front, Mongols at the flanks, samurai at the wall. Smoke, alarms, gunfire. The command center can barely keep up. One section of wall is almost overrun. Radios overlap in panic. For a heartbeat, 1 million men feels like enough. And then the modern army uses its real weapon, not the guns. The eyes in the sky and the voices on the radio. Drones show every group, every gap, every massing wave. Commanders raid the whole battlefield in real time. They shift fire, move armor, and plug each breach as it opens. No ancient general could see or decide this fast. Heavy machine guns open wide, empty lanes through the densest ranks. Grenade launchers thump, shields and axes scatter into the air. Artillery walks across the rear columns before they can advance. Helicopters rise and rake the flanks the cavalry tried to hold. The samurai at the wall are cut down before they can climb. The knight's second charge never even forms. The Mongol circle breaks apart and cannot close again. The Roman testudo holds, but it can only crawl, and it bleeds. The Viking tide, still vast, finally begins to slow. Wave after wave breaks against a wall it cannot reach. After hours, the field before the base is a place of ruin. The dense columns are gone. Only scattered groups remain. The defenders push out to take better ground. Small teams move and cover each other, coordinated to the second. For an army of the past, this speed of decision was impossible. The ancient warriors still fight with unbelievable courage. Single groups still charge, shields up, screaming their war cries. But each charge dies under fire long before it lands. Slowly, the greatest armies in history lose their momentum. The numbers that once felt endless no longer decide anything. So could 1 million ancient warriors take a modern base? For the first terrifying hours, it truly looked possible. 5 armies, every tactic ever invented, all at once. But the modern force held something they could never match. Range, to kill at hundreds of meters before a blade is drawn. Armor and firepower, to break formations made for close combat. And sight, drones watching everything from far above. Most of all, information and the speed to act on it. Courage crossed the distance. Numbers crossed the distance. But centuries of technology stood in the way and held. The Vikings, the Romans, the Mongols, the samurai, the knights, the finest warriors who ever lived, united on one field. And still, The gap between their world and ours was too wide. It was never really a battle of a million against a few. It was a battle of the past against the future. And the future, this time, was simply too far ahead.